Okay, this whole video is going to be a question of personal preference, but essentially, this is mine. Top 10 Pokemon Go in my collection. Essentially, best Pokemon according to me and how I feel about them. Partially sentimental, partially just numbers driven. Here we go. You gotta start with. Also, these aren't necessarily top 10 CP, but in this case, it is. This is my Groudon. This is my favorite Groudon. It's not my best Groudon, but it's my favorite Groudon. It's my biggest. It's my shiniest. Well, I have two shinies, but you know. And it's got good stats. It was worth powering up, and it's almost at best buddy status at this point. At this point, I think I'm like 10 hearts away. We're working our way there. Event that was happening down in Las Vegas. I think it was Nevada. Yeah. I didn't go, obviously, but I'd started getting into Pokemon Go, and my girlfriend and I put our user codes on some Discord stuff and got our names out there and made some friends, and we were lucky enough to be invited to a bunch of raids. And this was like one of the best things to catch. I think I caught it in the middle of the winter. Yeah, middle of February on like a snowy cold day that we were just hanging out inside and enjoying all the good stuff. The second on the list, it's just going down because we're probably going to be moving down in CP as we go. Yeah, no. Also, this is a regret. We definitely should have kept that a shadow instead of purifying it, but yeah, I purified it early on. I've had it for a long time. I made the mistake before I knew. I'm sorry. This is my pride and joy. It is amazing. There is nothing else to be said. It is my one and only Shundo, and it is sick. It was also caught around that same time. I think it was a month before the Groudon, but like, this is back in the good old days when raids actually did what raids were supposed to do. But yeah, this is my boo-boo. It is great. It knows all the moves. Next is kind of like, it's a 3-in-1. I know you're supposed to, I'm doing top 10, but this is like, these guys are a combination for me, so they're kind of different. And that is the Magnezone, the Shiny Sylveon, and the Gyarados. Why are they a combination? Great question. Thank you, audience. That's my max fighting team. Now that I've powered up my Groudon into the 4000s, I'm starting to use it. Now that it has a second move, took a lot of rare candies. Magnezone is good against everything. You're like, no, it's not. You're like, you're right, it's not. But it wins against a lot of what people open up with. It does obviously have the two moves. But what's sick is Mirror Shot comes out after like, 3 sparks. Like, it's quick. Charges up fast. Spark, also like electric types are super underrated in max because everyone has big flying Rayquazas and stuff, and you're like, okay, like, still works. Steel type, super useful for the steel type moves. It gives it some cool invulnerabilities. It survives a lot of stuff that normally you think it shouldn't, but it does. I'm just gonna spam this. They're gonna blow out their shields eventually because it's super effective. This was like my first shiny Eevee, and I got spoiled with it. And lastly is just the big silly Gyarados with a great moveset. And again, all 3 of those are really good at taking down big dragons. So, Dialga, Rayquazas, who have water type, dark type, fairy, psychic, steel, electric. Like, your team's not really weak to anything specifically, for the most part, which is great, considering fairy covers the fighting, which they'll switch into to take down your Magnezone, because it's steel type, then you can just switch it up and get them back. So yeah, very great team. So that's like a very fun feature, probably the third most important thing I got going on in my collection. This is special to me. I didn't think I would have one, but I got one. This is number 4. Yeah, very cool. Kind of upset it's not a Shundo. I do have a shiny Rayquaza. Actually, I caught 2, traded 1 to Little Page. But this is my 100, and yeah, the other one I traded the worst of the 2 shinies that I had. I got lucky. I seem to be good for, yeah, as you can see, rating for legendary shinies. I am lucky. Speaking of cool shinies, the shiny Garchomp during the Garchomp event. I know it's the number 5 cool thing to show. So yeah, collection of Dragonites. But if we just get the shinies, and this one for the 15 league, just for fun. Once I can get frustration off of it, which should be relatively soon. But array of shinies. Today was actually Mareep Day, so we got some Mareeps. Nothing too crazy, but I have been getting pretty lucky on shinies and legendaries, as you can see. Flygon should be in a category of his own. I have a Flygon for every single level of battling, except for Max, because he doesn't go that high. But Mudshot Dragonclaw is an amazing combination. It takes 3 hits, it's super fast, and you're spamming their shields, and you follow it up with like Earth Power or Earthquake or whatever other secondary move you want to put on there. Yeah, definitely sick. My Garchomp best buddy. This is the first Garchomp I ever had, and I love dragons. This guy's pretty sick actually, but pretty sick. Still need to power it up because 15 seems to be the most competitive PvP out there, and that's what I'm about. I'm about winning. Come on, when it hits 15 right on the dot, you know, it's got decent stats. You're like, yeah. This is one of my pride and joy Pokemon. I just think it's so cool. This thing is absolutely sick and is very useful. It gives you a great spread of things that it can take down. Bro, we need that Trevenant. That's the last one I'm going to end on. My Trevenant for my 15 team. This thing has won me so many games. This is what it, like, this thing is just a tank and a powerhouse. It's very great. One of my favorites. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's what I just want to go over, like, some of my, like, top favorite Pokemon that I own. This is, okay, I know it's pretty. I know it's pretty. My best buddy did. But it sucks. So I don't care how rare it is. Well, I do. Actually, I really do. It's really sick. It's one of my favorites. It's my honorable mention. But it sucks, which is why it's an honorable mention. Anyways, thank you.